Many thanks for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television, and you know how we do it on Fridays. We try as much as possible to just let everything loose and have fun. We intend to do that on the program today as we'll be chatting with I don't know, should I call him a star? All right, because we have a guest. What did you say? Our guest this morning is Michael Ejoor. He's an actor, he's a director, and I think for now he's still basking in that euphoria of being a director. That one is still shocking him very well because he'll tell us why he decided to also act directing into his journey in this world. Good morning, Michael Ejoor.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so who is Michael?
Who's Michael? Michael is
Michael.
He's pretty much your everyday guy.
Okay.
Who just happens to be on screen, but he's your everyday guy who, believes in the average thing that everybody believes in and the values that people believe in, and most importantly, sharing love. Yeah.
Oh, sharing love. If you were not acting, would you still want to be in front of a camera for any reason?
No, actually, if I wasn't acting, I would be the CEO of a not-for-profit. 100%.
Oh, wow. So I mean, if that is part of you, because I can see you're big on giving, big on love sharing.
Yeah.
So how did you find acting, or how did acting find you?
Yes. To be honest, I'm glad that you said that because that was going to be my line. Acting found me. Actually, 2016, possibly the hardest year of my life. Not possibly, definitely the hardest year.
Okay.
I was dealing with the fallout of a failed relationship, a failed long-term relationship.
Okay.
My mom had kidney failure.
Wow.
And she needed a kidney transplant, and I had lost my job as well.
Wow.
So it was just a really terrible year. And it was just literally, a friend of mine, Tim Godfrey, said to me at the time, he saw that I was, wallowing in depression, and he was like, oh, just come, let's go for this rehearsal. I have this play, and then I became an understudy for someone just because I could sing, not because I could act.
Right.
But then I just found that I was more interested in acting than singing. Yeah, and then I went for an audition, I booked that, went for the next one, I booked it. I said, something there.
Let me stay here. Okay, so what was the first movie that actually gave you that prospect that indeed it looks like this is where I should be?
I think it's actually really my first role, Tinsel.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember my very first day on Tinsel. They had sent me the script like a week before.
Okay.
I've never rehearsed for anything so much in my life. A friend of mine, when they were airing the episode, was reciting the lines of the other person because I had made him rehearse with me so many times.
Okay.
But I remember I had just done my first take, and the director said, how long have you been acting? I said, this is my first time. He said, are you sure?
Wow.
And just the "are you sure" just made me feel like, okay,
it looks like I'm doing something right here.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it was a soap. Tinsel was a soap.
Yeah.
Did that give you some kind of footing that you got into acting because it was a soap rather than a full movie, or so did that give you the balance that you really needed, bearing in mind that you had no formal training in acting, or you didn't even go to a film school at that time? So I mean, when you sit back and you look at the journey, were you pleased that you came into this industry via the soap line rather than the first full movie?
Yes, I actually do, and because they are different, acting styles are different. For soaps, for sitcoms, for feature films, for theater, and there's something about soaps that gets you to be a little bit more expressive, but not as expressive as stage.
Okay. And
coming into acting, you have you tend to have the ability to underact or overact. So being in a soap sort of keeps you leveled. It's a level playing ground between overacting, which might be seen as stage acting, and underacting.
Okay.
So starting with a soap actually gave me that balance that I needed.
Right. So what were the challenges in transiting into the movie world, after Tinsel?
Oh, well, there's always so many challenges. I think nobody prepares you for the no's.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many no's, And what is even worse than no's is silence. Silence is, you could go for an audition, then have a callback audition, and you think that you've done really well, and then no one just says absolutely anything. So the next thing you are watching the film on the television that you were auditioning
you went on audition for.
So
you're asking yourself what happened.
Yeah, so it's a lot of the silence and the no's. Those were the most challenging, but I wasn't used to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But okay, so before you came into acting, what were you into?
So I've had a good journey, in the corporate world. I was literally talking to my manager yesterday, and I was like, I miss the corporate world. He said, don't miss it too. I said I sort of do. So I had a good educational background. I actually graduated with a first-class degree in management science and business. So I thought I was going to be like the next MD of the top bank or something like that.
Okay.
I was working in an oil company. I served in an oil company. Then they retained me. I was working there. Then I moved to a bank.
Okay.
Then I ended up at which is why it's something I know I would want to do. I ended up being the CEO of a not-for-profit organization, Freedom Foundation. So I'd had, a whole lot of footing in the corporate world, which is why things like not hearing, you always hear when you go for an interview, they say, oh, we don't, unfortunately. So I was waiting for my unfortunately at least. Let me hear something. Do you know what I mean?
Let somebody also serve you the unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you looked at, what you were doing before you came into acting, and like you said, you were still discussing with your manager yesterday, you missed this world though. Is this something that you would want to go back to and dump acting, or is it something that you feel, okay, perhaps, can they cohabit?
Yeah, I think they can cohabit. I would never, ever leave acting. I can't
You
even
will
imagine.
never?
No, never.
Wow.
As much as I love, and I feel like anything I do, I strive to do it well, I will be dreaming about it in my sleep. Literally, like I won't mention the company, the oil company, but they sacked me because I was going to act now and again.
You were sharing their time.
I was. I don't blame them at all.
Okay.
So as much as I was good at my job, my attention was really divided. So I know that it was a dirty lie if I say I want to give up acting.
Okay.
I
so
really
I mean, that
wouldn't.
is where the passion is at the moment.
So they will cohabit.
They will cohabit. So acting. At what point did you decide that, okay, I think I want to act directing to acting?
Yeah.
Because they're not the same.
Yeah, no. So I would say in my second or third year of acting.
That early?
Yeah. I just found myself being super interested in, so I was in a soap that on Africa Magic for 1 year called Unbroken. And when I wasn't filming, I would go and sit next to the director.
Okay.
Shout out to Blackie. I would go and sit next to the director and I would ask so many questions.
Okay.
Why have you decided to block this scene like this? Why this shot? Why that shot? I say, okay, I was watching this and this person's CU didn't match this. This was an OS. Why? Is this a storytelling technique? I was just asking questions. And, I was just really curious. And I found out that I cared a lot about the holistic viewpoints and not just my performance or the performance in the scene. I wanted to know, why did you light it this way? Why have you chosen this costume, these colors, So I just found out that I was more interested in the bigger picture half the time.
Right. Okay, so and that's why you decided to also have a stint on, being a director.
Yeah.
And so now that you're a qualified director, what do you intend to do? Drop acting, or again, marry both?
Oh, they will marry.
We are
in a polygamous relationship. We will marry
they
ourselves.
will marry.
Yeah.
But is that an advantage though?
Yes.
Being a director and an actor, because again, it means that you can do two things, at a time, and then find how, and like you said, polygamy. You find a way to make them work.
And
but is one superior over another?
I wouldn't say it's superior, but I would say that since I started taking an interest in directing, my acting has become way better. I'm more knowledgeable on certain things, and even things that affect my co-star. Since I started directing, I'd learned more about lighting, camera angles. Even in this interview that we're doing, if you see I'm looking at you, it's only this eye, because I'm very conscious that my camera is here.
Okay, so that
like
has given you more,
giving me
more knowledge and
more
advantage.
Insight,
okay, so at least you are directing yourself even when you're acting. Okay, so okay. I know my colleague. At any point in time when you're ready to ask a question, it's fine. Please just signal and.
Yes, Ask now. I'll
Okay,
ask
so
now.
maybe while we get the camera to you.
Okay. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hello.
Okay. All the while you were talking, I was just thinking that okay, being an actor and being a director, which one do you think makes you express yourself more?
So, this is a very, very tough question. Thank you for that question. It's a very tough question. And, oof, it's very hard to weigh one against the other because
Okay.
it's sort of very different forms of expression. When I act, it's very different because I am becoming. When I direct, I don't have to become, I have to create fully.
Oh.
So it's two totally different expressions that. But if I have to choose, I would say acting because there are certain depths that I have to go to as an actor that directing wouldn't need me to go into that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more about creating. You know, so like I said, holistic. I have to think wider.
Yeah.
You know, but with acting, I have one goal at the time. What is my goal in the scene? Highest, maybe there's a secondary goal, a subtext, but usually there's one
One
goal.
goal.
Okay.
Okay.
So Adebimpe's question will bring me to, of course, your recent role in To Kill a Monkey. And so how did you land that role? Did you go for an audition? Were you waiting to be called? And when you eventually got called, was it like, okay, let's go and do this? So take us through that journey.
To be honest, like every time you ask a question, you always end it with what I want to say. I like this interview. I love it. Literally, I was waiting to be called.
Okay.
You know, so at that point in time, I had stopped going for what they're called open auditions. So
Okay.
there's an open call and anyone can come. You know, so we have things called closed auditions where
Right,
they
they
write
already
down
know
names
who,
of people they
right.
want to see.
Okay.
So you know they probably say, okay, this character, I think Michael Ejoor, Stanenze, F.I.Wara will be good for this. Let's call
Okay.
these people in to, you know. And so I was sitting down there and I was like, okay, when is my call coming through?
Okay.
You know, and it didn't. And then I made a call to someone who I knew that knew Kemi Adetiba, and she said,
Right.
"Oh, Mo, they don't do."
Wow.
I said, "Wow, wow, wow." At this point, I hadn't gone for an open audition in like 3 years, and I said to myself, "I don't care." And I woke up at 2 a.m., got ready, and I went for the audition. I was there at 3 a.m. I was number 9.
Wow.
Which is scary because what time did number 1 get there?
Can you imagine? Number 1 actually slept there.
You cannot convince me they didn't.
Right.
Literally, I was there at 3 a.m. for a 9 a.m. audition, and I'm really glad. I know this sounds like I'm trying to do aspire to perspire, but no, I'm really glad that I worked so hard for
To get that
You know,
role.
nobody can tell me they handed this to me or anything.
You
or
earned it.
I earned it, and it feels really good that I earned that.
So, what were the preparations? Because again, a lot of people after seeing To Kill a Monkey were like, how could it have been you? I mean, nobody actually saw that coming that, you know, you were, or your character was like that. So for you, what were some of the things that you also put into at ensuring that you killed that role? Because I know that you worked with the likes of Bimbo Akitola, and for some reason, I think you guys have developed a brotherhood after that production. So was it also because of Kemi Adetiba that you really wanted that production, or was it because also you felt, okay, I could actually meet with loads of people on this project, people of like minds, whom together we can gel, bond, and kill this production? So what was the mindset when you were going for that audition and when you eventually got that role?
Yeah. 101%. Again, you have done it. You have answered.
I
for
will
me.
not talk again.
But 101%, I can't tell you that my main goal for going for that wasn't because of Kemi Adetiba. Everyone wants to work with Kemi Adetiba.
Right.
She's absolutely amazing. I think we keep forgetting that she's only done 4 films. And she's who she is from
Right.
4 projects. That's absolutely amazing. Every project she's done has been an amazing hit back to back to back. So I was like, yes, I want to work with you.
Right.
That was the main goal. But then with each step of the way, something was just revealed, you know, that sort of gave me that gusto. You know, when I got the role, I found out that the character I was playing is named Onome. Onome is my first name, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Michael is my third name, actually.
Not even second.
No, not even. So, Onome Ogene Ochuko, Michael Ejoor. You know, and my name is Onome, and Onome means my own. So I literally felt like that role was my own as well. You know, I connected on that level. And then I connected on the level in which what they did was they sent us the script in 3 parts. So episodes 1 to 3, then 4 to 6, then 7 and 8.
Right.
So reading 1 to 6, I was like, oh, okay. If you haven't watched the story, small spoiler. I was like, okay, you know, Inspector Mo's family died. Maybe it's a little love thing brewing here or something like that. So when I got to episode 8, I went, wait.
So this is it?
And I said, you know what? That feeling I had, I have to make sure that that's the feeling that people have when they watch it. I had my away moments. Somebody else must have their away moments when they're watching it. So that was my driving force to make sure that they don't see it coming. Right.
I know I stumbled on an interview that you did somewhere. Was it an interview or something that you said during the shoot of To Kill a Monkey? There was a particular role where yourself, Mo, and I can't remember, Ireti Doyle's, and then you said literally for a few minutes you were lost, and then you were like, okay, what are these two amazing women doing here? Relate that to us here again. At that moment, what did you were you in school?
I was in 101%. I felt like I was in a master class. At one point, I wasn't even acting; I was just watching, and my head was saying, okay, why did you use this pen here? I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Why did you pick this up? You know, and that's just to show you the level of greatness. That after the scene, I walked up to Madame Ireti Doyle and I said to her, explain to me your use of props. I haven't understood it. And she said, it's my office. I know where everything is. I know what I would do. And that's when it hits me that because they put you in a place, that's the first time I'd been there. You know, I've not, you know, but that's not the first time the character has been there.
Right.
You know, so it was just a different level of learning for me across board, you know. Yeah.
So before Kemi's production, which other challenging production had you been into that challenged you also? Maybe not as much as To Kill a Monkey, but at least that you had to go, you had to give your over 100% to kill the character.
I would say The Photographer. So it's a film that's showing on YouTube. It was directed by Jide J. Blaze Oyebile, amazing director. He just won an AMVCA. And prior to that, people would always cast me as the good guy. I don't propose tired. I'm tired of proposing, you know, and it was always the good guy, the loving guy. Oh, Michael Ejoor, he has a very nice face, so we won't believe him as a villain or anything like that. And I didn't start acting so I could play, you know, this one.
You didn't want to be
I didn't want to be typecast, you know, stuck in stereotypes, you know. So when he offered me this role, I was really excited, and I said, you know what, I have to go over and beyond. It was even hard to step out of that character because I had to play someone very mean. Wow. Very, very mean, you know, so that was very challenging. Okay,
quite challenging. So who are in the industry? I know you mentioned yourself, Efe, and you mentioned a third person earlier on. So if you were to look at those whom you really bond you bond very well with in the industry, who are also, you know, within let me say the age bracket of, you know, your generation, who are those that ordinarily when you see their names in a production you'd love to work with?
Oh yes, definitely. I have a list, and you know, quite a few of them have become family, but because I'm family or friends with someone, I don't take their talents for granted. Okay. So as much as Teniola Aladeshe is one of my closest friends, I can never take, she is a phenomenal actor. Right. Rehia Aronsa, a very close friend of mine, and that's actually my favorite performer, Omomi Dada. Blossom Chukwujeku. That is my #1 male actor.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic performer. Badge Adebule.
Adebule.
Yeah, very good performance.
Okay. But first of all, Tenny was, well, I knew as a writer, and then she just recently started acting.
Yeah.
And so if you
A
also,
producer.
a
She's
producer, so if you put acting side by side as being a producer, would you also say that, okay, she should continue acting?
She should stay there. That is an actor and a half.
And she should stay there.
She should stay there.
Okay. Have you had to reject a script that you did not audition for, but you were called onto, and why?
Yeah, I've had to. And this question, I hope the person that I reject is not watching.
You will not mention the person's
I
name.
won't mention the name.
So we will not know who the person is.
But I had to turn it down because, no offense, it was a terrible script. I'm so sorry.
Did you tell the person?
You don't want me to work again? People are very vindictive. So
Just asked.
and usually it's the ones that are so bad that keep offering you money. They kept going higher and higher because they assumed I was turning it down because of money. It was really, really terrible. The story wasn't going anywhere. the background inside the script. I don't have part 2. It was a lot. It was a lot. So I couldn't see where. I didn't know what I could do with this. It was too much for me. Okay,
and then you felt that also was able to demarket you if you ventured into such a production. And then I asked, did you tell the person?
I don't fit, oh, I'm sorry, oh. I don't fit, please.
Yeah, you're a worry guy. So are you also open to acting full pidgin?
Oh yes, very much
full
so.
pidgin, and it will not sound like, okay, it looks like no man not to stay for village.
I'm a worry boy. Inside the bloodstream of it is inside.
It's inside there. Okay. So again, you directing. You as a director. What are some of the things that you're hoping to achieve now that you're a director? Do you also want to, have you done your own movie? Have you done your own personal?
So not mine, more like a director for hire.
Okay.
You know, I've co-directed alongside Biodun Steven.
Oh, wow.
You know, I learned a lot from her. She's a very, very good friend, and she's kind of like my mother in the industry. She's, you know, directed me and shown me, you know, a path through here that made me believe even when I didn't want to.
Okay.
You know, but yes, I've directed short films and things like that. But I love Nigerian stories.
Okay.
I really,
original
really
stories.
do. Yes.
Okay.
I feel like we have, as Nigerians, we're already very, very expressive people. We use our hands a lot. We use our eyes, everything. Do you understand? We're very expressive. We have so much to tell.
Okay.
You know, so I love Nigerian stories, and I'm looking to tell a host of Nigerian stories: drama, comedy, fiction, everything. Bring the babalawo, make her tell a story, everything. I love
the
it.
way Adewingbe is looking at it, I'm wondering what exactly is going on. So some people will say, oh, short films, because again, short films also have their own audience and they have their own, they have the way they penetrate into issues, especially societal issues. So when you look at directing a short movie and a full-length movie, in terms of production, cost, and all of that, are they the same, or you just assume that a short movie is a short movie now? Are they the same when you look at the same the directorial approach? Directing a short movie and full-length movie was different.
So definitely the directorial approach would be different because you have a shorter time to hit home. And something about short films, which is why I like what you said as well, is that they usually attack societal issues.
Right.
So you have a shorter time frame to attack a societal issue. You have 20 minutes or so. You have to establish the character, take the character on a journey, and end it in 20 minutes, which is typically done in an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know, so you're thinking more concise now. How do I get all of this in? How do I keep them going and them not feel like they've been rushed through a journey or an experience? It's definitely different. A lot of things are different. In costing is different. You know, a whole lot of things.
Right, so let's look at the industry now. I mean, you've been here since 2016. This is 2025. What has changed in terms of perception, in terms of audience rating, scripting, and We'll come to the mode of distribution before this conversation ends. So what has changed for you since you came in and at the moment?
Yeah, a lot has changed, you know. Funny thing is I hadn't even thought about this.
Right.
But when you started talking, obviously I did plan the answer for my head. And I literally just started smiling because I was like, a lot has changed, though. You know, but one thing that has changed is, you new actors, you're enjoying, yeah, now they're telling you to submit audition tip.
Submit monologue.
But when I first came, standard, every week I used to go for auditions 3 times a week. I live on the island, and many of the auditions are in Ikeja.
Right.
I would drive, I have to leave there at like 2 o'clock, because I have to be here maximum 3 a.m. because they used to call me number 1, because many people didn't know my name, but they knew that, they say who's the number 1 person? Okay, that guy is number 1, that's number 1, because I was always number 1 at an audition. So you can imagine the time I have to get there. But now you sit down in your house, send this email, send to this email and everything. If you like, no get up, go to the audition first.
So that for you is one thing that
is
of
one
course
thing that has changed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely. But even in terms of the stories we tell, you know, I think we're more intentional with our stories now.
Okay.
Acting is definitely more precise, is better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think Ademike has a question.
I want to go really personal now because, of course, I read about you before before today. Did you go to school in Nigeria at all?
Yes, I did.
Where?
I didn't. The only education that I didn't do here was tertiary, but I did. I went to 5 primary schools. Not because I wasn't doing well, please. Hey, because I think the next thing I think I was failing up and down.
Okay.
No, yes. So yes, I went to, because it was the nature of my father's job. We
Okay.
moved a lot. So I went to, I started in Lagos, then I moved to Enugu, then Abia, then back to Lagos. You know, but all my education till secondary level was in Nigeria. Then I went to the UK for tertiary university.
And then you came back to Nigeria.
Yes.
There was something that happened to you at the age of 6. Yes, it was a health challenge, and I'd like you to share that experience because it gives hope, you know, to people who are going through some kind of health challenge at this point.
Yeah, and I'm really happy as well that you asked this because, like I said, I love spreading love and giving hope because I don't think I talk about this particularly enough because I spoke about it recently and about 3 people came into my DMs and we're talking about the fact that they're going through that as well and they didn't see an end to it, but looking at me, they are encouraged to keep going. One of them was saying, I don't want to do physiotherapy anymore, I'm just going to accept life. So I had something called Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's a very big name. Yeah, but what happened was the top of my spine was infected. So babies can't hold their necks up because, you know, the spine isn't fully formed, you know, but it closes by the time you're 2 or so. I was 6 and mine was still open. So it got infected and before I knew it, I couldn't write, I couldn't, you know, I couldn't hold a pen, couldn't do anything. And before I knew it, I lost all mobility in my hands and my legs. So I could only move my neck sideways. And that was it. And it was that way for a year. We moved to Germany for treatment and a host of other things. I've never been injected so much in my life. You know, I was being injected constantly, but the doctor said they couldn't do anything. And they were going to take me to a home where I would learn how to do the barest minimum that I could, you know, giving the condition and maybe do some form of physiotherapy and see to what level I can, but I most likely would never walk again, you know, but nobody willed me in here. I walked.
Yeah, so again, sometimes you look at the power of the unknown or, you know, the God factor will always come to play here. Ademika, are you done? Can we continue?
He's
Or
a
you still
Nepo
have-
baby.
Sorry?
I said he's a Nepo baby.
Nepo baby through and through.
Okay, right. So when we started this conversation, you talked about love, and you said, you know, at that point in your life when you came into acting, you had just lost a long time relationship. So where are you now?
Where am I now? I'm really concentrating on work and career. You know,
Is that deliberate?
yes, because I've had some misses in this life and I'm tired. Let my heart rest. Heart, you to rest.
Had to breathe.
You rest, yes.
Okay.
So yeah,
Right.
I've had a few misses, you know. So I said to myself, you know what, I want to work more on myself,
Okay.
you know, be the best version of myself, you know, find happiness in myself. I will have to admit, I think I kept thinking happiness was a destination, a job, a person, you know, but I've come to realize that happiness is within. And when
Sure.
I find that, I'm able to, you know, do better and be better. Yeah, so that's where I am.
That's where you are. Okay. Let's quickly talk about, before we wrap up this conversation today, let's quickly talk about the future of this industry. You are an actor, you're a director. If you look at the industry today, a lot of people, we've had a few actors, directors come here and you ask the question, does this job really pay the bills? Does it pay the bills?
It actually does.
It does.
And it does. Yeah, and the thing is, I think because I'm a very content person.
Okay.
I'm not moved by the flashier things of life, you know. So I have a roof over my head. I have afang on my plate. I'm good, you know. So
As
I'm
long
not,
as the basic things are
yeah, as
there.
long as the basic things. I'm not saying that you can build a mansion or something like that with it, but I'm happy, and I feel like with good financial management and diversification, even within
The industry, yeah.
preferably outside as well, because I studied finance, and the greatest way to grow your portfolio is to diversify it.
Okay.
Do you understand? So with diversification as well, it can pay the bills.
So on the overall, if you look at the challenges in the industry and then you'd like to itemize there, maybe 5, what are the greatest challenges that the industry needs to deal with for a better tomorrow?
Distribution, hands down number 1. You know, we've had some of the big guns globally come and leave, you know, and that has sort of destroyed distribution. Sensitization, because there's a lot of people, I don't watch Nollywood. I hear that thing all the time. I don't watch Nollywood. I don't, you know, is it not you people's film that they do this, but you haven't given a chance to see the films of today.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So distribution, sensitization, access to funding.
Okay.
I think access to funding as well is a very big thing. Collaboration, because you can't really walk it alone. Look at the biggest films that they are, even in Hollywood, where they have access to funding.
They collaborate.
Collaboration.
But why do we shy away from that here? Everybody wants to do things personally, because I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that you have this production in collaboration with this and this and this. And then, but here in Nigeria, everybody wants to do, Michael Ejoor wants to produce his movie, Biodo Steven wants to produce a movie, and so everybody is just doing solo production. So how do we get to that level where such conversations will be given a bite that we all can collaborate? Is it for the fear of being shortchanged or outshared or undershared, or what exactly? Why do you think there's a problem with that?
So I think it is more us as humans, and not necessarily just Nigerians. I think it's Africans, Black Americans, and I think it's come from a place of oppression, you know, of years of oppression. Even though we didn't live through it, you know, it's been in our lineage, and we are brought up to sort of fight our way through, you know, and so there's the idea that I did this on my own, despite the challenges, not that we did it. So it's like, oh, you held my hand. I did it. I single-handedly did it. Yeah. So it is innate in us in general. People want to just take that sole glory for everything. But really, if you want to, what's that saying? If you want to go far, go with somebody or something.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Take someone with you.
Yeah.
All right. So you've mentioned on the funding, you've mentioned sensitization, you've also mentioned distribution, and then you said collaboration. So the
fifth one, pay me better.
I thought you said minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, but you know, just tell me a little bit better now.
Oh my God.
So the thing is, and
but
are you
asking for more?
So yes, definitely. As time goes by, and as you know, my brand becomes bigger and life becomes more expensive, you know, I have to ask for more.
Right.
Petrol wasn't the same As a matter of fact, petrol wasn't the same 2 days ago as it is today, safe. Right now, it's been fluctuating recently. So, you know, and the reason why I say pay, and I'm just saying, I said me just, you know, out of humor, but I think pay
The
humans
industry.
more.
Okay.
So the thing is, I think producers, you know, we tend to value things more than people. So we can shoot a film and you pay 5 naira for the location, and then we have to pick up a month later because we found out that this scene wasn't shot properly, and we have to pick it up.
Okay.
Now you have to pay 10 naira for this. But if you have to pay 10 naira for a human being, they will not agree. But they can pay 10 naira for equipment, for location. But humans, I'm talking about crew, cast. It's you know, it would be nice for them to be valued more.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody is running to YouTube now. Are you worried that at some point in time we could also abuse that platform?
At a point in time?
Like,
or already?
so that you will not say I said it. No, so that he will not say I said it. So I had to play safe this time.
He's already, you know, but I'm so happy for YouTube. I'll be
Okay.
totally honest, because that is such a global audience.
Right.
You know, as much as we have Netflix, we have more eyes on YouTube because no one pays for it. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need that access. YouTube is free and fair for everybody everywhere. Since I started doing YouTube films that go onto YouTube, I've had messages from people in Uganda, Eritrea. I learnt, what was this place that I learnt recently? I thought the person even made it up. So I had to go and Google it. I was like, oh, this is a place, you know. And you know, so many, the reach is endless, and I love that. I love that. But because the reach is endless, you know, people say, I can't tell you how many times I hear, it's just YouTube film. I don't care where it's going. If the film is going to somebody's house where only 5 people will watch it,
At least it's going somewhere.
it has to be as if it was going to President Obama's house. It has to be amazing, no matter what it is.
It has to be amazing. Right. So for you, in another 5 years as a director, as an actor, where do you hope to see Michael? Or where do you hope to see Onome? Since that's your first name.
Yes. Speak to the root of me, yes. To be quite honest, like, and I hope this doesn't make me sound shallow-minded, because I guess the average actor would say, oh, I see myself in Hollywood. I don't really have Hollywood aspirations. If it happens, please, by all means,
Okay.
hand it here, you know. But I want to take Nollywood global as opposed to cross into Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah, I would rather be known for being in that Nollywood production that is revered as high as the average Hollywood film than to be in a Hollywood film and be an actor there.
Okay. So for you, it has to be Nigeria.
Yeah.
So it should be about here and promoting what it is that we have here. We done. I am done.
Some of us want to be actors.
Okay, that's
does
fine.
it-
Michael,
Will you wake up at 3 a.m.
What
to
does it
audition?
take?
Oh, are you open to mentorship? Let me see that to you so that she'll come and learn.
You should stick to our calling.
No, I know.
You want to tie
There are
Gele.
roles for
Only you want to tie
everyone.
Gele.
Waka pass. There's Waka pass.
She only has one to
And you
tie
start
Gele.
from somewhere. You start from.
That's what I'm saying.
You can start from Waka
That's what
Pass.
Michael
Waka Pass,
said. He
yes.
said there's room for
At
everybody.
least you will see me.
Literally,
that
I
was Big
sent,
Omotayo
my
Waka
manager
Pass.
is behind the camera, and I sent him a story yesterday, and he can attest to it, which is, and I said to him, I said, they're not a love stories of people finding love in their older years.
Yes.
You know,
You
because
see?
my mother's
Finding
friend,
my love
she
now.
found someone that they dated a long time ago.
Right.
They had both gotten married, their spouses had died, and they got married again. At 75.
Can you imagine?
You know, they found love again, and I feel like that's such a beautiful.
Are you doing a story on that?
Yeah, I'd like.
You'd like to.
If I see my story, because I don't talk, if I see my story, I'll go report the film.
Okay. Okay. And thank you so much to your manager. He's been such an amazing person. I mean, thank you so much. You actually made this happen. So we have to say thank you to you on television. Thank you, Tolu, right? Tolu?
Tayo.
Tayo. Thank you
Absolutely
so much,
amazing.
Tayo.
I have two managers, Tayo and Akinwale. Akinwale is not here today.
Okay.
But yeah, Tayo is here.
And you
Okay,
pay these 2 people.
They are the people that
Please,
are the
I won't do anything
I want
without
to-
them.
To do manager.
I want to be an actor.
Oh, Tayo, are you hearing?
Tayo, can you hear? An actor. So that I can have my own staff. I'll be paying them. Okay.
Thank you so much, Michael, for making this happen. We appreciate your presence here in the studio today,
Thank
and
you.
we wish you the very best in
Thank
your
you so
journey
much. Thank you
ahead.
for having me. I had such a great time.
Thank you. Because we've been chatting with Michael Ejoor on the program today, and I'm sure that you've learned one or two things about him today, and of course, his love for charity and his love for humanity. Adebimpe will not sleep on this one. She wants to be an actor. Don't worry. Because, I mean, it's a dream. Dreams don't die. It is when you wake up and you realize that you want to pursue a dream that you actually do. So don't worry, I got your back.
Find you over 10
Let's take a quick break. When the conversation returns, Adebimpe and Joy will be here with their Lagos conversation.